And on First Look, a Rapides Parish jury found 35-year-old Kristina Hoffpauir of Elizabeth guilty of first-degree murder. The verdict came after just almost 2 hours of deliberation. Hoffpauir was accused of killing 81-year-old Sherwood Doyle sometime between August 1st and 6th, 2019 on Chester West Road in Elizabeth. The Rapides Parish Sheriff's Office said Doyle died of blunt force injuries to his head and neck, asphyxia due to ligature strangulation, and a stab wound to his neck. His body was wrapped in a blanket under a mattress tucked between a wall and a dryer inside his home. Hoffpauir will be sentenced on August 31st. First-degree murder carries a life sentence.